Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talk About with Biff Lucky and Mr. Fun, the podcast where we will talk about everything. We will talk about anything. Quite frankly, we are going to talk about it all with a lot of jokes thrown in for good measure. Rockfish and the Rivermen leading us in again with Chesapeake Time. I have a short Rockfish story. So Rockfish and I are going back and forth. He was thanking me for putting the tour dates that I put onto the YouTube channel and also onto the podcast. And he tells me that he's at a bar where what's the line from Ron Burgundy? I'm a, what is it, Mr. Fun?
What is it? What
He
is it?
goes,
I'm somebody
no, it's like
important.
everybody knows me or something
Yeah.
like, I'm a big deal.
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
big deal. I'm a really big deal.
I'm a really big deal, or I'm a big deal. And he was at a bar and he's there, and all of a sudden somebody walks up to him and says to Rockfish, "Hey, I recognize you, from the company." He had a shirt on that Rockfish was wearing, or Rockfish had a shirt on that he was wearing from one of his old companies. Turns out the guy's an older Theta Chi, our fraternity. His name is Jim C. I'll say it like that. And Rockfish had this small world story. He had never met the guy before. The guy had listened to our podcast, and he said hello to Rockfish. Fast forward to Thursday of last week, I come off the golf. I'm at an event at the golf club, and one of our fraternity brothers, Jack C, comes up and goes, "Hey, just played golf with a bunch of Theta Chi's," and he goes blah blah blah. And he goes, "And Jim C." I go, "That's funny. Rockfish just met Jim C for the first time down in the northern neck of Virginia, and now he's in southern Delaware." So I go out and introduce myself. So the guy has now met two people related to the podcast in the span of 4 days.
Wow.
Just
in
randomly.
two different states.
In two different states. So that was
I
my.
mean, we are
my
bringing people from America together right now.
We are bringing people together. Speaking of which, April B loves the shout outs. So consider this, April B, another shout out to you. And thank you for for laughing at the jokes. I did get on the jokes I told. My AI captain joke seemed to be the one that people remember the most, which was
Yeah,
Did
that's a good
April B appreciate the provocative question and the way that you answered it?
We didn't talk about it, and we're going to avoid that topic.
All right.
Biff's hoping for both options.
Yeah. Anyways, stop. Where in the world is JK? JK is in Gull Lake, Minnesota. He is with a couple of fraternity brothers of ours and some other high school friends of his. They do an annual reunion in Gull Lake, Minnesota. So I understand that's a very nice part of the world. No drink of the week, but we've got I see a Scotty's hat on a visor, on Lucky, as he often does. So we are representing Scotty's. And the other thing, I've got my little bottle. I'll put that up here. The other thing is Scotty and lady friend Jen got married on Friday. And as we discussed last week, and it was clarified in the video, it was out in Las Vegas. It was two Elvises or Elvi that did the ceremony. Officiated the ceremony, and we watched it on video. They looked dapper. The people that we know there, they were wearing white tuxedos with a black tie. Jen looked beautiful in her dress, and then it was just pandemonium as there were Elvises going up and down the aisle, singing all sorts of stuff.
A lot of energy. They had a lot of energy.
A lot of energy.
Well, they have to, and it was cool how they took the Elvis songs and sort of made them like wedding themed, vows and that kind of stuff. I thought it was really cool.
But they said the vows and they sealed it with a kiss. It was wonderful. Then they walked back down the aisle. So it was terrific to see. And it still lives online. I'm not sure how you would find it, but it's Graceland Chapel, I think, in Las Vegas. They have a Facebook page and it's there. And I'm sure if you typed in Scott and Jen wedding from last Friday, which I'm forgetting the date now because today is
22.
The 24th is the 22nd. So I'm sure you can find it there. So we recommend others go look at it because it was a lot of fun. So congratulations to the two of them. So this is the point, Mr. Fun, where we would normally have you tell a joke. But what time is it, Mr. Fun?
It's the newest portion of our show. We're trying it out to great success. We no longer do the joke of the day. We do 1 minute, an amateur comedian, in this case, Lucky, making his debut on the namesake of the segment, his namesake, Get Lucky. Wait, Biff, why don't you do that in your best introduction voice? Why don't you introduce our new comedian?
Our new comedian?
Yeah.
Our 1/3 of our trilat.
Yes.
Trilat.
Talk about with Biff Lucky and Mr. Fun podcast. We are welcoming on board to do his time Get Lucky by himself, not a metaphor. It is his time to tell jokes for 1 minute. And Mr. Fun, let's remind ourselves, if he doesn't do a good job and we have to laugh, he gets a small bottle of vodka. If he does a good job, and Mr. Fun's going to time him, as you can see on the camera there, he gets a large bottle of Scotty's vodka. So far, of the 3 times we've done this, large bottles of Scotty's vodka have been given out.
I think you guys may give me the small bottle just because of the themes of my jokes. So,
All right, so Lucky,
I'm gonna preface that I am roasting both of you, okay, and a little bit of me as well. But and I'm using kind of themes from things we've talked about, like Mr. Fun.
Wait, don't explain it.
Okay, all right.
There's a rule that if it takes you more than a minute to explain your minute, you automatically get the small bottle.
All right, let's go.
Okay, I'm going to count it down, Mr. Fun, and then you hit start. 3, 2, 1, go.
Biff plays so much golf in his white pants that we're not sure if he's trying to win a tournament or audition for a Tide commercial. Biff's the only guy I know who wears white jeans because he came with a country club membership card. Biff moves houses so often the post office doesn't even forward his mail anymore. They just put it straight in the back of his U-Haul. Biff says he likes to write books, which makes sense because he spends half his life packing them up every time he changes addresses. Mr. Fun doesn't even like his own dogs. Imagine being man's best friend and still getting ghosted by Mr. Fun. Mr. Fun makes videos of himself eating chicken wings. Finally, the YouTube channel nobody asked for. Mr. Fun's so late, even his punchlines show up after the laugh track. Mr. Fun pronounces so many words, I'm starting to think English is his second guess. Mr. Fun is always late, and Biff is always moving, so between the two of them, nobody even knows where they are and when they'll show up. Biff writes books nobody reads. Mr. Fun makes chicken wing videos nobody watches. Together, they're basically the world's quietest influencers. Mr. Fun doesn't like his own dogs, and Biff doesn't like sitting on the beach. These two are proof that Fun hates them back. And finally, Lucky does the news, which is funny because the only current events he's actually qualified to talk about are his creepy incognito browser history and those sorority rush videos that keep coming up on his Facebook reels.
Wow. You didn't do the dog bark at a minute, Biff.
I did. Well, yeah. Okay. There's only technically. I will struggle there. I will put a dog. Right. He was just about a minute and 15 there.
I got a minute and 12. Minute 12.
So he did it. So let's assume.
I was smiling because of the speed in which he was telling jokes. Lucky,
I had so many.
Lucky, you tell jokes faster than you have intercourse with Mrs. Lucky. That was fast and furious.
I know. I was waiting for him. He goes, I'm going to make fun of the two of you and myself. I'm like, okay, when are you going to make fun of yourself? You threw that in. That was. I'm not even sure I'd say that's much of throwing in there. So it was there were some funny ones in there.
Yeah.
There's tried and true ones.
Yeah.
Making fun of moving is good. Mr. Fun and a channel nobody asked for with the wings, I thought was very funny.
Yes.
It was very, very topical. So look, it's I know how nervous it can be to do this. So I will give you the large bottle of Scotty's. What about you, Mr.
Yeah,
Fun?
you got to give him the large bottle. That was a lot of effort. He was working hard. Hard. So
I even left out Rockfish sent me some jokes. He knew I was coming up, and he gave me some jokes. I didn't use them, but I'll give him some props. Did you hear that Biff just recently lost 5 pounds and Lucky lost 7? Mr. Fun found them. That was what.
That's good.
That's good. That's good. So it was good. Look, I love topical things like you did, Lucky. There, picking on some of the things that we have picked on ourselves over time. So I appreciate that. So congratulations on getting that.
All
done.
right.
So, Mr. Fun, do you have one?
I wasn't ready, but let me think of one. Wait. What do you call an Italian hooker? A prostitute.
Okay.
That's good. Okay. Well done.
All right.
Well done. So Lucky, I kind of in the intro to you, I said trilat, which seems to be the new word.
It's one of my favorite new words. Our president is using it these days for the meetings he's trying to organize. So when I heard that word, I thought about us. We're our trilat. We're trilatting here.
So, but has he been doing much trilat, or they're bilats and hopeful for a trilat? Right?
He's looking for the trilat.
Okay. All right. Well, that's
He's
good.
trying for
So
the trilat. How about
yeah,
that?
What does it
yeah,
mean?
that's
What does it mean?
The
trilateral
trilateral meeting between
Oh, got
Russia,
it.
Ukraine, and the
instead of
U.S.
bilateral.
But
So we're
he's
looking.
just using the word in a funny way. I don't know. He's just, again, he's a interesting character when it comes to stuff like that. So some of the words he used, but anyway.
So, Mr. Fun, the nod towards the rate cut, which happened on Friday.
Yeah.
You are a professional in the finance industry, mortgages specifically. What do you think it
Well,
means for
first, you know
mortgage?
that I pointed to my back when I was working out, and I asked, I don't say the English language very well, and I asked my trainer, I said, "What is this?" And they said, "Trilat, trilat." I said, "It's my lat, my lat." It was my trilat. All right. Anyway,
Oh,
the yeah, come on, people, whoever you're voting for, whatever your preference is, everybody needs a rate cut. Everybody needs a rate cut, and I find people rooting against it, and yeah, we're gonna have a rate
But
cut.
do you think it's going to
The-
result in a rate cut that impacts the home financing?
Yeah, here's the deal. Rates, but first, you can't cut rates if there's fear of inflation. You can't do it too
Right.
soon. If there's fear of inflation, you can't do it. But if inflation is under control, which is the reason, why they kept raising interest rates, because they had to get inflation under control.
Right.
If inflation's under control, it's time to cut interest rates. People like
well,
lower
jobs.
interest rates. People will not sell their house if they have a 3% interest rate. People may
Yeah.
sell their house if they can buy a new house at something in the fives. So,
Okay.
but it's going to be cautious. I mean, and they're going to do a quarter, and then we're going to sit around and wait to see if they, do it again. I hope I want to see rates get cut. We'll see what happens.
I think one of the other big things that's driving it though is the job stuff, because the job numbers are not as great, and more and more automation is taking over. Junior people like just graduating college are having hard times finding jobs. We talked about that before.
Yeah.
So I really think job stuff is really the big thing,
But
and
here,
they
depending on what, your philosophy is about economics, I mean, and I'm no expert, but, that's the problem. Inflation is driven by too much money in the system and not enough goods and services. People, employment was high, and people the prices of things were going up, 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 and people were buying, buying, buying. And so, again, the bad news for the economy is good news for interest rates. Hate to say it, but if you're buying a house or thinking about refinancing, you're okay with the job numbers being a little bit lower. At least it'll get spun around and shot out in different directions. But if you can figure out the definition of inflation, if inflation's under control, it's time to cut rates.
yeah.
Did you see the news about McDonald's? I don't know who saw this, about where they had a meeting with their franchisees about the value meals have gotten so expensive and that they're pricing themselves out. And they came up with it, and I seem to recall it was like they want the franchisees. You can't dictate it because that's collusion, but they're recommending that they try to give a 15% discount on the three items if they were stacked together, right? The drink, the fries, and the whatever. But what had happened is that some of the franchisees had jacked the prices way up, right? I think they saw the highest value meal was $18, which I think was sort of a rest area, airport kind of pricing. And then some were lower but still expensive, like $12 or something like that. But they've tried to get them to agree to bring that price down to keep consumers coming in the door. It's
If
an
you
interesting
if you went to McDonald's right now, what would you order? What's your go-to meal?
for a like a dinner meal. I would go quarter pounder with cheese, fries, and then Diet Coke.
Wow. What about
Yeah.
you, Luck?
The McDonald's I just really don't like it. But if I do eat it, I'll eat the 2 cheeseburger meal. When I don't get the cheese, so 2 hamburgers, fries, and a Coke.
I got to admit, I love McDonald's. I know you find that hard to believe. I don't go there that often, but when I do, it is quarter pounder with cheese, medium fries. The more salt, the better on those things. And then a large Diet Coke or Pepsi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't go very often. I probably maybe go 3-4 times a year, if that.
The
Yeah,
breakfast
I don't wanna
sandwiches,
number
the
out.
breakfast sandwiches are delicious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a big
absolutely.
McDonald's breakfast person. I will eat McDonald's breakfast, but not the
What
other
breakfast
stuff.
do you get?
I like the sausage McMuffin with egg, hash brown, and I usually get a Coke with it, even in the morning.
You get
I like
bacon
to,
or sausage?
I get
Sausage.
I get the sausage McMuffin with
I'm a
egg.
big bacon fan. You know, bacon is like a woman. A good woman is like a good piece of bacon. It smells good, may even taste good, but it'll kill you over time. It'll kill you over time. Slowly kill you.
Okay. Moving on, Lucky.
What are we moving on
What
to,
else is
Beth?
going on? What's that?
What are we moving on to?
Well, we're moving on to other stories that you may have,
Oh,
as we often do. We've
Okay.
only done this 140
Wow.
times.
I'm just didn't. I don't want to like have an expectation that's not, it doesn't come true.
Okay.
I mean, I
All right,
sort of
well-
knew you wanted me to say something, but anyway. All right. We talked about the word trilat. There was some press this week about a bunch of new words added to Cambridge Dictionary. They added 6,000 new words this year. And like words now are getting generated in all these like odd places. Like a lot of them are like social media like weird things that happen in social media now have who did, before there was never really a phenomenon of whatever this is. And now there is, because of social presence of social media, and words that get generated. So I'm going to tell you some of these words and let's see if you even know what they are. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Mr. Fun, do you know what skibidi is?
That's when you're playing hopscotch with somebody who's a bitch. She's a skip biddy.
Skibidi is a nonsense word from a viral YouTube series that can mean cool or bad.
Got it.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
Biff, do you know what a broligarchy is?
A proligarchy?
Bro, B-R-O, broligarchy.
So that must be obviously leaders of countries that get along. And I'm going to use an example. I'm guessing they are saying it's Putin and Trump, or Z and Trump. Or
I
something.
actually think it's the leaders of a fraternity. The broligarchy.
Mr. Fun, you're closer. It's a term for a small group of brothers who hold power.
The broligarchy.
Okay.
Okay.
Broligarchy. What about
Okay.
Delulu?
What?
Delulu.
Spell it, please.
D-E-L-U-L-U.
Delulu.
It's short for delusional, often used to describe unrealistic or over the top beliefs or hopes. But that word is now in the dictionary.
I thought it was a popular woman's name in Harlem. Delulu.
Okay. But two more. Tradwife.
What is it?
What?
Tradwife.
Trad?
T-R-A-D-W-I-F-E.
Tradwife.
Tradwife. Traditional wife.
Yeah. That's what you
Well,
call
that's
an Amish woman.
A woman who just chooses to be a traditional homemaker. And then
Okay.
last but not least, Luke. L-E-W-K.
Blue.
That's a guy who has father issues. like Luke
You gotta
Skywalker.
It's a distinctive or characteristic look or outfit. His Luke.
Luke.
So
These are real words now. These have gotten into some
These are in the dictionary
I'm
now.
not sure they're real words. Let's be honest.
They're in the freaking dictionary. I mean,
I know, no, I understand that, but the Cambridge, whoever they are, they're trying to sell access to their website versus Merriam-Webster versus Oxford. This is a marketing ploy. Nobody's going to use. That's like the word "riz," which we talked about last year or the year before, right? That's not a word. You're never going to use it again. In a sentence, it comes and it goes.
I use Riz all the time.
all the kids use Riz.
Now I'm going to start using Luke.
Yeah, okay. You can keep, if you use Luke in a sentence. You couldn't use Luke in a sentence right now.
Sure.
Let alone.
Sure.
Okay.
Lucky's looking good in his Scotty's Luke. Right?
Okay.
Did I use it right?
Yeah, probably close enough.
No, probably. Okay.
You guys know the word meringue?
Yes.
Meringue, yeah.
So I was
That's
watching this Australian cooking show, and all the Australians cheered when the chef made meringue, which was weird because I thought Australians boo meringue. No?
God. Yeah, that's good.
All right.
That's good.
All right, another thing caught this one was crazy. I haven't brought up any world records in a while, but there's a Croatian freediver who recently set the world record for longest time holding his breath. 29 minutes and 3 seconds.
That's a
He held
lie.
his breath.
That's a lie. He died.
They have it on video.
He died and they brought him back.
It's he broke the record by 5 minutes.
When do you
That
get
was
brain
set-
damage? Doesn't he have brain damage?
Okay, so and it's relatively controversial, but it was oxygen assisted, meaning that he was able to breathe pure oxygen for several minutes before he went down.
I mean,
So then he held it for 29 minutes.
Right.
But
some guy he set the record for starving himself to death, but he only ate lunches. Same thing.
yeah. No. He just like, okay, if we were going to hold our breath, we would take a breath and then go. He just breathed in pure oxygen, which helped.
there is no way.
He did 20. It's out on in the news in real legit news.
What the news? You know the news.
The news.
Biff.
The news. It'll be in the Cambridge Dictionary next year.
Yeah. You know what cannibals eat to get rid of bad breath? Mentos. They have Mentos.
Okay.
Lucky. All seriousness, Lucky. So the thing where he was able to use oxygen beforehand, which seems, pure oxygen. Don't you think that, casts doubt on it?
A little bit, but I think, in reality, 29 minutes is 29 minutes without breathing.
I mean, but I don't know. Does he have a little tablet in his mouth where he's getting oxygen in that way and then exhaling it at some point?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's the equivalent of like the free divers who they go down. They have some kind of weight to take them down.
What nationality was he?
Croatian.
Yeah, I've heard Croatians, they don't need to breathe. It's weird. It's weird. They just don't.
All right, and then from the sports page, again, the culmination of the regular season, call it, of golf, happened today. Tommy Fleetwood, who has been, I think it's like 25 PGA events where he's been in the top 5, but never won a PGA event. He actually won today, $10 million prize. He picked a good time to win. Which was awesome. But now the big thing is the Ryder Cup, and the Ryder Cup's in a couple weeks, and determining who's going to be on the teams is really going to be, I think that the drama this upcoming week. But I was trying to think, what is more powerful than the Ryder Cup in terms of a sporting event these days? Like, the Super Bowls are good, the World Series are good, but you pretty much, those are big for the teams, the fans of those two teams that make those things. But like the Ryder Cup, because of the U.S. versus the world, where the U.S. golfers play against the world golfers, their best. I think there's
to
not.
be clear, it's just European, the Ryder Cup.
Oh, just European. Excuse me. Yes. There's
Wait,
another.
Did you say annual event or just event in general?
It's I think they play the Ryder Cup every 4 years.
Now, come on, there's the Olympics.
Or 2 years.
There's the World Cup.
I don't know, man. I just think I think the Ryder Cup, again, right? Maybe just because it's where it's coming, it's where it's coming on the calendar now, and all the political.
I think it's just so we're clear. It's every other year is the Ryder Cup, and then the international equivalent is President's Cup. So it's in the.
What was your question? Is it more popular? What was your question?
What is more is there a more preeminent sporting event these days than the Ryder Cup? I think there's just
the Olympics.
So much. The Olympics is just not as popular.
I think that you would say, we talked about it this past winter, that international hockey thing that took place during the NHL All-Star break was quite good, and that has pressure on it, right, for defending your nation, which goes to Mr. Fun's point that international competitions, whether it's the World Cup, European Championships, the Olympics, they have a lot of they're bigger sports generally that would do it. So there's more people watching that than the Ryder Cup. I think the difference on the Ryder Cup is maybe more to your point. I don't know of another sporting event where the individual pressure is on a single individual as much as the Ryder Cup, right? It's golf. It's basically an individual sport, and you can to have a putt by one person, over and over. The pressure is built up over all these different golfers. It's tough.
I will give you guys the props or whatever that the Ryder Cup is an incredible sporting event for golf fans. They absolutely, and some people who may kind of have a casual interest in golf will absolutely tune in. The Olympics, I will watch gymnastics on the Olympics. I will watch synchronized swimming in the Olympics. Like, fans come out of nowhere to watch the Olympics. And the World Cup, I'm watching
Yeah.
Zimbabwe play Croatia in soccer. Yeah, so I personally think for the non-golf fan, there are other sports that will draw them in more intently. I'd like to know the viewership of
Oh, it's not going to be nearly as
right,
much as those other
right,
things,
right.
Mr. Fun. I don't disagree with you. I guess again, going back to the point though, in terms of a sport that has pressure put on a single individual as part of a larger team concept, I'm not sure you could say
Gymnastics,
that.
gymnastics,
Yeah, no, but the
diving,
gymnast they have.
swimming.
I, wait, let me finish my point.
Sorry.
The point on the Ryder Cup is that there's 14 players or 12 players, whatever it is, competing and representing, and sometimes within those 12 it's a single individual has the weight of the entire continent or the weight on entire country. Now I agree with you on an individual gymnastics, Simone Biles, right? But it's not the same level of the team as is a different sort of structure, but
Yeah, because
it's different. Yeah, I think
yeah,
we're going to agree to disagree on this, Mr. Fun, but I think the points are both
All right.
made well.
yeah.
I appreciate that you agree to agree with me.
Our man,
I like that.
Our man Slab, who's been on the show, is actually going to the Ryder Cup the Saturday. So maybe we have him on and he can give us a little lowdown because he's totally stoked. He's not even a big golf fan. And for
Yeah,
him
it's the end of the month in Bethpage in Long
Did
Island.
they serve free food there? Why would Slab go?
oh, geez.
Jeez. I'm sure he may. His son is working with the PGA.
Oh, that's why. All right.
So I mean, he may have access to some of that free food that you have alluded to.
Yeah.
So, but the final thing I will say about the Ryder Cup is that there's a team captain, Mr. Fun, for both the European side and the U.S. side, and the issue this year is whether the U.S. captain picks himself to be on the team,
Oh,
which hasn't been for a while
really?
because he's
Which-
playing that well.
I'm not a big fan of that's such a hard job to be the coach because you got to
Yeah.
determine the matchups. You got to go watch people play, determine the next day's matches, and then playing your
Yeah.
own matches.
Hey, look, you want to hear a useless baseball trivia that I heard today? So the Yankees are leading the major leagues in home runs. They have 20
Okay.
more home runs than the Dodgers. And that appears to be, as long as they stay on some sort of similar pace, an insurmountable lead. In the last 50 years, 5-0, only 5 baseball teams that led the league in home runs won the World Series. I found that interesting because you'd think the team that hits the most home runs may have the best chance of winning the most games. But for whatever reason, only 5 in the last 50 years have won the World Series.
Well, it just shows you maybe home runs aren't as important, right? I mean, you need pitching, you need a bullpen, you need starters, you need other things to win games.
Yeah.
And I'd be curious to see what some of the correlation between winning and things like batting average or pitching statistics.
Yeah.
Because there's probably a few that are more correlated with success than
But
home
yeah,
runs.
I was surprised you said it was over 50 years because I would have said if it was over the last 20 years, it wouldn't surprise me because the strikeouts correspondingly go way up, right? Guys are trying to swing really for the
Maybe.
fences,
Yeah.
but that doesn't seem to have been the case 40 years ago. So that's an interesting stat.
Yeah.
And, it's like winning the President's Trophy in NHL. It doesn't seem to matter if you're the best
Well,
team.
That's the
Right,
one
so-
with the winning record, right?
Yeah,
They don't go on to win the Stanley Cup.
It's been very rare
Interesting.
recently that they've done that. So good. So I have one thing that of a personal note, which I am I'm doing this for the good of the podcast. So Mrs. Biff finds a letter that my dad wrote basically a few weeks before I was born. This is a Christmas letter because I was born right before Christmas. And I'll just read it. The biggest event of the year is yet to come, at least at time of this writing. Shim, in parentheses, she, him, or both, is expected between 1 and 15 December. We are eagerly anticipating the arrival of the newest member of the family.
Give me the initials again. Shim. H. What does it stand for?
Him.
SHIM. It is not initials. It's actually, he wrote it as a word. SHIM.
She, he.
She, him, or both.
Biff,
That's
you
how
learned
it is.
pronouns before there were even pronouns.
I was not aware that there was such a word as shim until my dad made it up, and it was before pronouns. So it was news to me. Let's put it that way.
Wow.
Now, are we thinking of changing the podcast Talk About with Shim, Lucky, and Mr. Fun?
Yeah,
Are you
it's up
sure?
to you guys.
Are you sure it's not Shin? SHIN? Because I don't know if you're aware of this, Lucky. Do you know that Biff has one leg that's shorter than another? Do you know this?
Yes.
Yeah, Biff, maybe you could tell that story. When you stand on a curb, you're actually level, right?
You're so full of crap. Will you stop? Yes,
Shin.
my right leg shorter than my left leg.
Wait, say it again
Yeah,
for the audience to hear.
my right leg is shorter than my left leg.
Yeah.
Maybe a quarter inch. It's not like
How do you know? Did you measure it?
I've had it measured. I have, and because it was related to a time I broke my leg a long time ago, and blah blah blah, and then unfortunately, the doctor gave me a corrective insole. This was in high school, and I had it, and I even wore it into college. It was inside the shoe. It wasn't like it built up on the bottom of the heel or anything like that. And then at one point, somebody threw my shoe when I was in college, and Mr. Fun, I know, was laughing behind that microphone. I said something like, "Wait, where's the insole?" And then I had to fess up that my right leg was shorter than my left, and they made fun of me.
The poor guy was limping across the front yard of the fraternity.
Stop!
He's like,
Wait a minute. So do you still wear the insole?
I do not. I have stopped because the ridicule that I received. I'm going to have a bad back for the rest of my life because of those bastards.
Is your left ball, does it hang a quarter inch lower than your right ball? Like,
I think that things like that naturally compensate,
right?
For
yes. No, I did not expect this story to go here.
Oh, I thought you said shin. That's why I was confused when you said.
Oh, really? I spelled it twice.
It's my best story.
Oh, yes. Well, thank you. So, anyways, I was the first shim. So now that we can, I got mine out of the way. Let's talk about Mr. Fun and how do we say that? Like gephyrophobia? Gephyrophobia? The fear of driving over bridges?
Right? Mental illness is not something to joke about.
Oh, it is.
I mean, you have a physical injury. That's something that's funny. I have a phobia.
But explain the phobia of you driving over bridges.
So this was never a problem until a few years ago.
Okay.
And it started, believe it or not, I was coming back from New York, and I went through the Lincoln Tunnel with my. No, I'm sorry. We got diverted a detour, and it was the Baltimore Tunnel. Remember the bridge was out? I think that was it. Bridge was out. Anyway.
The Key Bridge.
Yeah.
Key Bridge
it took me through the tunnel, and I'd never been through the tunnel. And just like in a bad movie, the wall started coming in on me, and I got white in the face. I started hyperventilating, and my daughter was in the front seat. I had to yell at her, "Take the wheel, take the wheel." So she took the wheel for a minute to get me out of the tunnel. And so we get out of the tunnel. There's nowhere to pull over. I recover. I'm sweating through my shirt. And then since that day, I get really anxious going to the beach, going across the Bay Bridge, to the point where sometimes I have to open the sunroof and the windows. And I came to a conclusion after sharing this intimate secret with you guys. I came to this conclusion. I don't think I have anxiety about going across the bridge. I have anxiety about passing out while going off the bridge, because I get like a little bit lightheaded when I do it. So I see myself going under a truck and then bouncing off the truck and into the Jersey wall and crumbling over it and just falling to my death into the bay.
So he's telling us about this phobia as he's texting us as he's just experiencing this phobia today.
I didn't want to focus on what I'm doing.
Get off your phone and maybe concentrate on the road, and then maybe you won't have this fear anymore.
Wait, but let's backtrack here. He's the only person I've ever heard in the world that had the fear of bridges manifests itself by going through a tunnel. How does that
Yeah.
work? I don't. Yeah, I just don't. I don't understand that. It makes no sense.
I don't know. What's the Hitchcock film? Vertigo or something? I feel like I got something. I got something happening.
Here's the trick of going over the bridge.
Yes.
Eyes straight ahead. Don't look and drive in the middle. Don't drive on any side because then you can see pretty much straight down. It scares the shit out of you.
No focus is an issue for me. Focusing on one thing for a long period of time, or even a short period of time.
Well, they have that service. You can park in one side of the bridge and they'll have somebody drive you over to
Every
the other side.
every time I hear somebody say there's going to be driverless cars, I'm like, when are we going to get the driverless cars?
Look, I know a lot of people have the fear of driving over the bridge, and I don't want to make fun of that. I am going to make fun of the fact that you got it by driving through a tunnel. And that just
You
makes,
got to ask my
again,
daughter next time you see her. Can you imagine
Yeah,
being in this? Like my head was starting to jerk back, and this like it was, it was bad.
When my mom started driving, she told me a story. She was driving through the Baltimore Harbor Tunnel, and a droplet of water came on the window. She thought the whole thing was getting ready to cave in. She was scared shitless.
Wow.
It was like it was just some kind of sweating on the ceiling.
How long did it take you, or when did you realize that when you're going through a tunnel? Because if the ship goes over the top, right, you're like, is it going to hit the tunnel?
Oh.
How long at what age did you realize that it actually went underground, the tunnels, not on the bottom of the seafloor?
I don't know. We were in the back of the car with our seatbelts off, trying to put the lighter back in the little hole without burning ourselves. We had distractions. We didn't even think about the tunnel.
Lucky, what's your phobia? Do you have a phobia?
I don't like public restrooms. What? I don't like to touch anything in there
Really?
except my important item.
Do you put down the paper? Like if they have that, or do you create it with the toilet paper?
No, even if you're just going to pee, like at a bar?
I just don't like it. I just don't like public restrooms.
Wow. What if you have to use one though? What kind of precautions do you take?
Oh yeah, I use them all the time. It's just like I won't touch anything.
Well, that's it. Yeah, that makes you more of a germ freak, not anything else, right? You just want to touch it.
I don't know. It's necessarily the germs. I just don't like the concept of it. You know what I mean? It's just
of a public restroom.
Yeah, I mean, just the what goes on in there. I mean, I don't think it's
what
germs.
What do you think goes on in there?
I know
everybody's going number 1 and 2.
What's the alternative?
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm not debating the usefulness of the public restroom. I just don't like to use them.
Lucky's going to show up one day at the bar with a diaper on.
What if it was a commonly used, like if somebody had a party at their house? That doesn't bother you, right? Using that bathroom?
No, like a bathroom at home.
Public one.
Like outhouse or porta johns and stuff like that.
Oh, I don't like that.
I mean, necessary evil, but
all right. Well, we have gone off onto a phobia tangent here. Mr. Fun, we are there.
We're there?
We are at the time to have a risque joke.
What do you call a homosexual that loves to take chances? A risque. No? Made that one up myself.
Yes. Well,
this is a little morbid. I had a dream that I was stripped naked and executed. It actually turned out nice when the female guard complimented that I was well hung. No? All right, last one. Let's see. Last one. Lucky's wife, I really admire their relationship. She asked him what he thinks about things all the time, and she was like, how do you view women having sex with other women? And Lucky said, on my iPad in the bathroom.
That's right.
Not the public bathroom.
Not the public bathroom.
Not the public bathroom. So good. All right, Lucky, how do they get a hold of us?
Well, before I give them that important information, a big shout out to Mrs. Lucky. Today's her birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. We had a great evening last night. A lot of the female listeners attended a little soiree for Mrs. Lucky. So thank you to Lisa, Cindy, Beth, Laura, Michael, Tom, and Court, and Michelle, and Pam all attended. So I know they're all listeners. Thank you for coming out to the event. We had a great time. I had a rough day today, but anyway, so
good.
And last but not least, talkabout2023@gmail.com. Keep the info coming. Rockfish, thank you for the jokes again. And that's it, Biff.
All right, good. Well, thank you, guys. Good to see you again. As for everybody else out there, again, watch us on YouTube. If you're seeing this, you're obviously watching it on YouTube. That channel is growing, getting more and more people subscribing and watching. So please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Look for our little clips that we put out there, and obviously, if you get this from audio source, we are on every podcast platform. So please listen to us and tell everybody, and please share it as well. So we're having a great time doing it. Mr. Fun, it's been good seeing you behind the microphone, literally behind the microphone. So thanks for joining us, and we will do it again next week. Until then, let me just say goodbye. Okay, so now we're doing the outro, as we do every week, gentlemen.
Do you edit that little part out, or do you say that?
I depends how I do it. I edit it out sometimes.
Got it.
Sometimes I leave it.
Got it. I would
Like
just
right
like to
now.
say some words that you may want to write down. It's not all about a person's salary or income. Sometimes people are rewarded most and best if you pay them a compliment. So
That's Delulu.
What?
That's Delulu.
that's Delulu.
What?
I was
What,
suggesting that you occasionally reach out and pay a guy like Mr. Fun a compliment. Every once in a while, it would really help me out.
Oh, really? That's bothering
My
you?
ego is shot these days.
Your jokes are funny, as they
All
often
right,
are.
thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fun.
Oh, hey,
If-
hey.
If that's the outro that you need,
I'm
apparently.
bluffing behind this microphone.
You were
blushing.
so good today,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Fun, on the podcast.
Oh my
Oh,
God!
Please
man.
keep
If
them
I had a
up.
nickel
We
every time,
need you
every
so
time a
much.
chick told me that,
Yeah, you wouldn't have much.
I'd have a
money.
quarter.
That's why you're still working. So, anyways, it is the outro, gentlemen. What do we not say?
I can't say it.
Okay.
All right.
don't
Listen,
say it.
I do want to say, though,
We never
thank
say
you
it.
so much for listening this week. We look forward to bringing you laughs and interesting topics next week. We want to thank and congratulate all the fine folks at Scotty's, especially Jen and Scotty on their nuptials. Is that how you say it? And
Yeah,
remember, we never say goodbye.
absolutely. All right. See you
All
guys.
right. Bye.
All right, guys.